Hello River Rats, this is Kevin with another day in the Thousand Islands. I'm very excited because today I get to share some aerial footage I've been collecting. You may or may not be able to tell, but this is Alexandria Bay and we're going to work our way upriver to Cape Vincent. That's looking upriver right there. There's Nance Marine. Way off in the distance is Goose Bay. I've had most of this for a while, but wasn't able to do anything with it. Recently, you guys requested Swan Bay and Cape Vincent, and I was able to get that footage. And here we are. This is Point Vivian. Seven Isles and Densmore Bay is across there. New York State says there are 8 spawning and nursery areas for fish along the river between the town of Alexandria and Cape Vincent. Turns out that the 75 acres of Point Vivian Marsh is one of these areas. So that's what you're seeing up there. Typical fish is northern pike, brown bullhead, largemouth bass, and a certain subspecies of muskellunge. I'll put a link in the description, you should really check it out. It's a short read, very interesting. That's looking downriver towards Alexandria Bay. Linden Cove is on the right, Key Waden is just after it. That's Longview Island, straight ahead. That body of land right underneath the plane, that's actually Gypsy Island and Idle Isle. It's 2 islands. Point Vivian again, a little lower. Behind Point Vivian. Okay, do you see that white pole in the water down there? This is something my dad's been pointing out lately. Apparently it's a signal marker for ship navigation. When ships reach a certain point, it triggers a light that tells them to start turning. Got a really good view of the Point Vivian Marsh there. It's a better view of the signal marker as well. Okay, now we're in Swan Bay. That concrete pad down there is the old Swan Bay Beach Club restaurant that they tore down. I've been told they're building a new one. Like Point Vivian, Swan Bay is also a fish nursery. In this case, 140 acres of shallow water and marsh. That's looking downriver. And there's the marsh that I was talking about, with the American span of the Thousand Islands Bridge. Right over the marsh right there. Brown Bay across the river. St. Helena Island. St. Lawrence Park. Very windy day that day. I was trying to gain elevation and I was pointed into the wind. I had 3/4 to full throttle and it was barely moving. So this is Cape Vincent. And there's the breakwater right there. And it looks like the river pilot was just delivered to the Drosco. There's Wolf Island across the way. On the upper left-hand corner is Carlton Island. And except for the whole flying over water thing, you couldn't ask for a better place to fly. I mean, look at all that unobstructed yard along the shore to land on. So far, I have yet to find a place like that for landing, except here. the Drosko again. Okay, so next up we're going back to Point Vivian. And this is the Cedar Glen going downriver. Pointed right at Idle Isle there. I thought really hard about whether to fly over the water here. In this case, the plane is made of foam. It's about a 6-foot wingspan, and it's a glider. So unlike an RC helicopter, if it loses power, it's going to glide a really long way. So you have a lot of time to get it into shore. The helicopter would just drop right into the water if it lost power. So I wasn't too concerned about hitting anything. And being made of foam, even if it did hit something, it's unlikely it would do any damage. Thousand Islands Bridge off in the distance there, if you can make it out. Looking upriver. Looks like the ship just turned up there. Or down there, rather. That's Alexandria Bay off in the distance. So this is behind Point Vivian. Remember we just saw the Drosko about to head downriver at Cape Vincent? Well, when I got back to Point Vivian, look what was waiting for me. Yep, that's the Drosko. It's amazing what you can see when you don't even leave the dock.